Okay.
I love
Live
that.
on Facebook.
Okay, I think we got it down, the timing of it all, because apparently we were recording before we realized a couple times now.
I've got this down now.
We're not as savvy. We're not as socially media savvy as Bert.
Right.
She's got it down.
We need her here.
My specialty is bicep curls.
Yeah. My specialty are traps. Traps. Used to be all about the calves and arms for guys. Now switch into the traps.
That's Connor now. Chest and calves.
That's Connor's deal?
Yeah. Or is it biceps and calves? I don't even know. But
he's got to work on.
Yeah.
So
less of this.
Yeah.
More of this.
We're gonna move this way a little bit. Just a tad. All right, guys. Hey, week 3 education. You guys ready to do this?
Hey, we are excited.
Are you ready to do this? Okay, so I'm gonna share my screen with you, and you're gonna love it. Okay, so we're gonna do a little bit of a recap. Okay, and the recap is gonna be based off of the week 1 education. Oh shoot, from current slide.
You got it.
Come on, baby.
Look at you.
There we go. Okay, so recap here, guys. For first week, we talked about the do angle. Remember, we aren't trying these things.
Mm-hmm.
We are doing them.
So
right?
for those of you that don't get his dad joke, so it's a triangle, right? You're seeing a triangle. There's really 3 things. There's 3 corners to a triangle. Mm-hmm. But Luke doesn't call it a triangle because we're not trying to do these things. We're actually doing, hence the do angle. So
yeah. Thank you for that. Thank you for the courtesy laugh.
You're welcome.
All right, now then we talked about macros. Okay, we talked about like the 3 problems that I stay awake at night listening and just thinking about problems people have with nutrition. First problem we talked about was macronutrients and carb backloading. We talked about that. So if you want to know what carb backloading is, talk to your coach, talk to one of us. Mm-hmm. We've had multiple people email out to get information on carb cycling. And like we said, sometimes it's just nice to have a program. Mm-hmm.
It is. It's nice to have something. And our goal is always thinking long-term, thinking lifestyle, not thinking a diet. So some of these things, the goal is for you to find a balance of what works for you and your lifestyle. So
yeah. And so this week we're talking about micronutrient consumption. Okay?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I forgot how fun
this is a fun one. This is a fun one. So I'm excited about this. This is where I get to really channel my inner nerd.
Yeah. So
you too, dietitian. You're a nerd too when it comes to this stuff.
Yeah.
So don't even give me. So here's my favorite.
I like
part
talking about more about feelings and like that kind of thing. That's about like.
Look at this.
Oh my gosh.
Pills are good. Pills are good. You guys remember this from Dumb and Dumber? Hold on, check it out. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna play it one more time. Pills are good. Hopefully they can hear it. I think I shared the volume with them. Okay. So I think they do hear it on their side. So we're talking. So we're going to talk about some supplements too. So we're talking about micronutrients. Micronutrients are. How would you explain a micronutrient?
Basically, everything that you get nutritionally from food or a pill form that is aside from carbs, fat, and protein. Yeah. So like basically, there's micronutrients and macronutrients. So electrolytes, some of those. That's all micronutrients.
Water. Is water a micronutrient?
No.
It's its own deal?
Yeah, it's its own deal.
That's cool.
It's like macro water.
Yeah, this is the
fiber.
This is what fiber.
Fibers.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that. So so at the end, we're going to kind of talk about some supplements that you can use, but it's really important to understand.
Are they hearing us or are they hearing that over and over?
Micronutrients. I don't know. Yeah, but you listen to people, so hopefully people can hear us. Let's see if people can hear us. Sorry. All right. So if you can't hear us, let us know. We'll talk to ourselves.
Tally appreciates Dumb and Dumber. Tally, can you hear us or are you hearing the video over and over again?
Hopefully she hears the video.
Laura, what do you got? I hear you guys, she says.
Perfect. Okay. All right. So now I got to figure out how to change my slide here. Okay. So now micronutrients they do so much in your body. So micronutrient deficiencies, that could be a problem, right? So there's a host of problems: weight management, inflammation, depression, GI health, headaches. There's even some indications of autism, all kinds of
big one for us is adrenal fatigue.
Adrenal fatigue.
That's what I talk to a lot of women about.
Yep. So there's a lot of things that can go wrong with a micronutrient problem. So let's talk about this for a second. So a chain is no stronger than its weakest link, and life is, after all, the chain. I love that.
Yeah.
So they're so small, it's just like you could barely see them, but they're so important, right? So to kind of build some importance around the micronutrient, we're going to talk about the Krebs cycle.
I love it.
You like the Krebs cycle, don't you?
I don't have it memorized like you,
You
but
don't?
I appreciate
I don't
a
have it
good
memorized, but
a good ATP activation.
yeah. So what I do know is the Krebs cycle is important for ATP production, right?
Yeah.
So this is your body's way to create ATP, which is energy for your cells, right? And in our world, muscle cells.
Yeah.
So your muscle cells need ATP to function, okay? To lift the fitties, you're gonna need some ATP, okay? Your muscle cells need that. Now, in order to, we talked about cellular energy, it uses micronutrients. Some of the micronutrients that the Krebs cycle really needs is at the top, you see B vitamins, a lot of B vitamins going on here. You need choline to create acetylcholine, which is imperative for the Krebs cycle to give you ATP. Okay, so this is just one metabolic pathway the body needs. So and it's to me, this is an important one because it applies so much to what we do. So one of the supplements that we sell, we're going to talk about this more in detail later. But Spark, for example, we recommend people to take this prior to their workouts because it has B vitamins in it, it has choline in it, it has a little caffeine for a little bit of a bump, and it also has other vitamins to help you be your best. So we're going to talk about that more in a second.
Sweet.
Yeah, but for now, I want to talk about this.
Yeah.
So Nicole, if you want to kind of take this slide and explain.
Yeah, where do you want me to start?
Actually, let's give everybody a minute to jot this down.
Okay.
You're gonna want to.
I know Amy Campo probably has got it down.
Yeah.
Travis for sure. Travis probably already drew this in his like software, graphic engineering software.
Yeah. So this is like, so the Krebs cycle is in here somewhere. Okay. And this is the metabolic pathway of life. It's super, super complicated. There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
Okay. So what really helps me just really truly understand the importance of making sure that you get your micronutrients in is the complexity of the human body. You know, it's an amazing machine and there's a lot going on. And it can come crashing down, as you can see before in the deficiency slide. The stuff can happen. So
it's crazy to think about too, because our bodies are so resilient, you know, that we can go for
ours are,
ours, like in general, people's bodies.
Yeah.
So this is not about us.
Oh,
this
sorry.
is not about us. Thank you for that though. But yeah, our bodies are so resilient that we can literally, I mean, I think about how I grew up and how what I ate for food, and I know that the food that I ate growing up, and even sometimes now, it's not nutritionally dense.
Right.
You know, so when I look at all of this, knowing that we need all of these vitamins and minerals and macronutrients and electrolytes and water and time and release of things and things to release, like it's crazy to think about how much our body actually does.
Right.
Without us even understanding.
Yeah.
And so one of the other things is that oftentimes people just assume that the way that they feel on their best day is as good as they can feel, you know? So when we tap into that metabolic pathway and help to kind of break down and understand how good they can feel, even better than their best day, you know, it's pretty cool.
Absolutely. And I think it's amazing that like when you're like, when you had our kids, right, you have a baby growing inside of you. Granted, you're eating healthy, but it's just amazing to me that like how humans can survive off of like waffle fries and Starbucks for a long time and still be, you're not going to be living, that's not healthy. You're not going to be by no means being your best, but your body is still going to figure out a way to do this, which I think is amazing.
It is really amazing.
Yeah.
I may have gone a day or two with waffle fries and Starbucks when I was pregnant.
Not like
only when I was pregnant. That's something I don't do.
You probably still took your fish oil those days, though. You took your fish oil.
I at least on the minimum took my fish oil.
So life, guys, it's complicated.
Yeah.
And and I feel if you want to live to be your best and do your performance the best that you can, consider some of the things we're going to talk to you about. Hey, Connor.
Hey, buddy, you want to jump in on this? We're talking metabolic pathways.
Yeah.
Of life?
Yes, of life.
I'm good.
So you know it already.
Yeah. So let's talk about this. Let's talk about some ear stuff.
Yeah, let's do it.
Love this. So this is.
You are good at explaining this.
Okay, so I got this one. So this is. Listen to this. This is awesome. This is estimated average requirement. So, this is this is percentage less than estimated average requirements. Okay.
The shortfall.
The shortfall. So that's what we're looking at here. So if you look at potassium, this is when the USDA did this study, they surveyed a bunch of people and they did testing on these people to figure out where their deficiencies were. Okay. And the top one, potassium, 97% of people were well below the estimated average requirements. So well below. Okay. So they were well below by 97%.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So fiber, I can't see it on our screens there. Fiber it's like 95. She had 95.
Mm-hmm.
So people had 95% less than they should have. Vitamin D, 94.3. There's choline. That's part of ATP, right? Krebs cycle. Spark has it. 91.7. So they had 91.7% less than the estimated average requirement for a healthy individual.
Mm-hmm.
So, and this is I got this off the USDA website. So potassium, it's critical for life. We need that stuff, right? Fiber, eliminating toxins, absorb vital nutrients from food. And the average person needs 25 to 35 grams of fiber. And that's from my experience, when I'm tracking on MyFitnessPal and making people track, people are usually 10% or 10 grams less than they should be, at least.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, and the list goes on. So we got fiber, we got vitamin D deficiency. It's linked to a bunch of things,
Mm-hmm.
right? Choline, it's an important neurotransmitter, muscle
Mm-hmm.
control, all kinds of stuff. So you can get by without having optimal levels of these, but are you going to be your best?
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to heal your body if you have some maladies that you want to, improve on? Whether you're tired or you need to lose weight or to build muscle or to tone up, or you gotta get to a baseline.
Yeah, I think it's kind of cool to think of it on that level too, because, and for those of you that listened to that part of the estimated average requirement and it didn't make very much sense, what basically that list is, it's some of the most important micronutrients that we need as a part of our diet, and we are deficient at those levels. So we're falling way below what our bodies need for just an average requirement on a daily basis.
Mm-hmm.
And so when he talks about all those comorbidities and the fact that like choline and vitamin D and those kinds of things for me as a woman, especially, I know that vitamin D is an important part of adrenal health. And when I have a lot of women coming to me and talking about adrenal health and adrenal fatigue and they want hormones to explain why things aren't changing or why things aren't happening like they want to happen.
Mm-hmm.
When a lot of times it could be something as simple as taking your vitamin D. And when I ask across the board, most people are not taking a vitamin D supplement, you know. In the summer, it's one thing because you obviously get it from the sun,
Mm-hmm.
in an absorbable form, but how much sun do we get a year? So knowing that something like vitamin D can cause all of that stuff, and I don't know if it says adrenal fatigue in there somewhere, but
Depression.
yeah, depression, the seasonal affective disorder
Mm-hmm.
and things like that all cause our emotional changes and our hormonal changes.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of crazy to think that a basic vitamin
Mm-hmm.
can actually do us so much good.
Right. Yeah, prostate cancer. I'm using vitamin D right now. Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah, that's a problem, right?
Yes.
So now this is just kind of going into it a little bit more. So this, what I like about this is the black line is people that consume just a diet, right? They consume food without any other foods that are fortified. they also don't consume vitamins. Okay. And the black line is people who are below average. That's like, so for instance, vitamin D, that's like the highest one, right? Yeah. So that's 90, whatever it was, 97% estimated average requirement, less than what they should be, right? So the white line is people that consume fortified foods like cereals or milks or whatever. Like a lot of those things are often fortified, bread sometimes fortified. And those people are still low in a lot of those things. But the people that even add food supplements, that's the gray line, that is still low in a lot of these cases. So even with people taking supplements, food and supplements are still at below where they should be.
This is such exciting news.
I know.
Like, I can't.
Oh my God, what are we gonna do? 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 Okay, so we're gonna take action. Okay, right? Are we ready to take some action?
I am ready to take some
Let's
action.
do this.
What do we
So
got?
we're gonna take some action. So eat healthy, right?
It's that easy.
It's that easy. So you can't eat waffle fries and live on Starbucks, Connor, IPAs and waffle fries.
You do love fries.
Yeah, waffle fries are really good.
High
They're
in
really
potassium.
easy to dip, right? Dip stuff because
Yeah.
like you get more calories and nutrients, right?
And they're high in potassium.
Yes.
Potatoes.
Yes, of course. Yeah, because the oil you bake it in and just cook it in.
Oh,
It's
okay.
really healthy. Sorry.
Take
So
action.
eat healthy.
Eat
So you can't eat garbage and take vitamins and expect to be healthy. You have to eat healthy, right? So I'm not saying that taking pills are gonna like save you. You gotta eat good, right? Dietitian?
Yeah.
Okay. Take vitamins. That would be my recommendation. If you're not taking vitamins, that's just such an easy behavior change, right? For me to tell Barbara or you or whoever, like somebody brand new, to eat perfect organic diet and get every micronutrient you possibly need to be efficient with your metabolism, that's kind of a tall order, right? That's almost impossible. Just take a multivitamin. Okay?
Absolutely. I think that's important. An important thing to note too is that we work with people that are at all levels of nutrition, you know? So for some people that are on the go all the time or may have things going on in their life, that fast food might be something that's pretty regular for them, you know? And so it's important to say, okay, let's meet where you are, you know, what's unrealistic. So for us, it may not be realistic for us to eat 100%, you know, nutritionally like we want to eat, you know? So it's important to talk to your coach about where you are at and what we can do to get you there. You know, so.
Yeah. So if you are having 3 cheat meals a day, like if you go to the McDonald's drive-thru 3 times a day, doing it just once a day will be a huge win. Having a couple of healthy meals with some vitamins is going to be a huge win for you. 1
Snickers instead of 2.
Yeah.
What you say?
Yeah. Yep. Dial it back. That's a win. So another thing we like to talk about is fish oil too. So fish oil is often very deficient. Many people are too high in omega-6 and they don't have as much omega-3. Their balance is a little out of whack. So taking a good omega-3 fish oil is also a good idea. We'll talk about it here in a second.
Okay, let's do it.
And then have some whoop ass.
Whoop ass.
Yeah.
Does that come in a can?
So we're going to talk about whoop ass first. It does come in. It comes in packets or a canister.
Okay, got it.
So
is that Advocate?
It is Advocate. Here it is right here. Advocate Spark, aka whoop ass. So.
Oh, you did say that. I didn't even look at it.
Yeah.
I mean, I did look at it.
I might have added that late. I don't want to let you know everything we're doing. Okay. So we talked about this. It's my favorite thing to do. It's one of my favorite things. And it helps me perform better. It helps me I think it helps me be better at what I do at life, being a dad and a husband and a business owner. So so it has, like I said, 20 vitamins. It has a little caffeine to give you a little bump, right? And it does have the B vitamins and the choline, like I said, for your Krebs cycle. So you can have some sweet, kick-ass metabolic pathways.
I love it.
Yep.
Sign
What's
me
your
up.
favorite?
Spark. Ooh, gosh. Blue raspberry.
Blue raspberry.
Probably. Grape is pretty good.
Strawberry is my current favorite. Yeah, so good. So multivitamins. So we have through Advocare a product called Coreplex. Okay, and this one is with iron. We usually take the one without iron.
Correct.
Right. So
The only time I would say to take with iron, actually, Coreplex with iron satisfies all the requirements of prenatal vitamin. That's the only time I would say to take that one.
iron for prenatal. Okay. It has this has more B vitamins also. So again, it's going to help with antioxidants to help the effective free radicals and keeping your body and your cells healthy. So again, waffle fries at Starbucks every single day is probably not going to do the trick if you're taking this, but you still need to eat healthy, right? Fish oil is important because every cell is affected by fatty acids. Omegaplex has a good balance of EPA and DHA. Okay, so some of the fish oils that you may buy, if it's super cheap and you get the fishy burps after you consume it, chances are it doesn't have a high amount of EPA, which when you look at a fish oil, you want something with a high amount of EPA. Like 600 milligrams per serving is what you want to look for. That's what this has, and a lot of the good ones have about 600. And so fish oil is something that you want to talk to your coach about or Nicole about and figure out how much you need to take. I do about 5,000 milligrams a day. So that'd be three capsules I do that a day, 3 or 4. So, but there's a lot more benefits than just from a cellular standpoint, and also hair, skin, nails.
Easy as that. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. And I think too, if you aren't using the Omegaplex from Advocare, when Luke talks about the ratio and how many milligrams, so typically it's 1 gram or 1,000 milligrams of omega-3 fatty acids.
Yeah.
And so when he talks about how much of each one to have, EPA, you want to have about 600 milligrams, like he said. And then you want to have a ratio of about 3 to 2. So 600 milligrams of EPA, 400 milligrams of DHA.
Yep.
So equals 1,000 milligrams. So that's what you want to shoot for in a serving. So look to that, write it down. Like that.
And this is an easy way to do your vitamins. It's a strip pack by Advocare called MNS.
You can't even see
it's
it.
like super bright. But anyway, it's
real gold.
Yeah, you take a pack before breakfast, a pack before lunch, and these packed with food. Okay, and it's super simple. So a lot of times, if you want to do something simple for your health, to have, in my opinion, major benefits from, take a high quality multi-fish oil product and set yourself up for success. Give your metabolism a fighting chance to improve and win.
And I totally agree. I actually have a client that is on her 24-day jumpstart. So the way that we do Advocare, and maybe you'll talk about it here. I don't even know.
Go ahead.
Okay.
How to get Advocare supplements.
Okay. You can talk about that. But I was just going to say, so looking back 5 years ago, right? Almost 5 years ago, I was around 200 pounds, and I was Eli was 7 months old, and we decided to start using Advocare. And as a dietitian, I know that eating maybe less and moving more, that's kind of where my mentality was at the time. I was trying so hard to lose weight after baby, and I wasn't nursing anymore at that point, but I just wasn't seeing any changes. And one of the things that Luke decided with our business is that we needed a good supplement line and with vitamins and minerals to kind of support what our goals are here. And so he said, before we start offering this to our clients and members, we want to make sure that this works for us. And so he, at that point, said, can you try this 24-day jumpstart? And I'm like, whatever. Of course, because I'm a dietitian, I know everything because I'm a woman. So I know everything. But I said, I'll try it. So I tried it. And after, 7 months of baby and being down maybe 20 pounds, I was probably 227 when I had Eli. So I was sitting at 200 pounds, and I, for whatever reason, doing the cleanse, and I did eat better. I don't think it's unrealistic because it's more food-based, but after the 10 days of the cleanse, I started to lose weight. And then after the 24-day challenge, I think I was down like 8 pounds, which is not a typical amount to lose, but I started losing then. And it was that kind of created the snowball effect of finally weight loss for all the work I'd been putting in, all the nutrition I felt like I was doing well with. So I think there's something to say about just starting fresh and getting your metabolism going, and all of a sudden feeding it all the nutrients. And I wouldn't say that you were right, You just took a guess and you just played the lotto. And
to make a long story longer, I actually started using Advocare products when I was in college.
So like 30 years ago?
Come on. It was, I started college in the 1900s.
Oh, you did.
This
is true.
Back in the 1900s with college.
Yep.
So yeah, I started taking Advocare products in about 2001-ish. And shortly after that, I was in the best shape of my life. So coming off foot surgery and stuff like that. So, and I've kind of used Spark pretty much since then. But you know, we added it to the business 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So with this, it's just the 24-day jumpstart is some packets that it tells you exactly when to take it, tells you the nutrition. It's pretty basic and easy. I mean, I'm pretty realistic. And when I talk to people about nutrition, I feel like it was pretty easy. But then beyond that, it's just starting your multivitamin, continuing your fish oil, you know, doing some basic things that we should be doing anyway. So
yeah. Yeah.
So
thank you for sharing that.
Sure.
Yeah. So
there's talk about this.
Yeah, there's a couple ways that if you're interested, you can get 10% off your first order. Talk to us about how to do that. Most people do is they do a preferred customer account where you get, it's $20 to set up, then you get 20% off basically forever. There's no like monthly minimums or anything like that. You just order whenever you want. Just let us know if you want to get started with that. It's simple, and we will make sure you get the right stuff that's, you know, like I said, appropriate for you. Everybody's in a different journey, and Advocare has like 80 products. So there's something for everybody, depending on where you're at in your journey. That's another reason I like it, is that it allows us to really coach people no matter where they're at. So
I love it. I feel like it fits in right with our like fat burner versus lean earner versus fast gainer, and you know, all of those goals that we have. So it fits really well with what we do for plans nutritionally and in the do angle. And another thing to consider with supplements, you want to make sure that what you're buying it's a good product. And most of Advocare's products are informed choice certified. So that means they're third-party tested. And so you know what's on the label is in the product. And that's, to me, that's super important when I'm taking a product. So I want to make sure it's not a bunch of garbage. So that's fair.
Yeah.
You don't want to eat garbage.
You don't want to eat garbage. So I think next week we're talking about digestion.
Yes.
All right.
It's one of my favorite things.
The poop talk.
I just spit. Sorry. I laugh.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. Do we have anything else? Are we good?
Gosh, I don't think so. If you guys have any questions, you know, you'll probably have a quiz about this, right?
So, coming at you.
Is there anything you want to do for a bonus point? Because right now is about the time when people haven't watched the whole thing. So if you watch this whole thing and you want a bonus point, do you want to like think of a bonus question? Like, answer this question or add this answer to one of your questions, and you'll get a bonus point.
If you I'm going to put in the survey Nicole's favorite spark.
Ooh, okay. Yeah. Good idea.
Nicole's favorite spark.
So if you watch that.
So if you meet at the end,
So do they have to write the question, Nicole, or are you just going to leave an empty space for bonus answer? And then they'll know if I got to here, I'll say Nicole's favorite spark.
So Nicole's favorite spark is the bonus.
Blue raspberry.
Yep.
Fair enough. Man, guys, I'm getting you guys points.
Yeah.
To catch up to those cool cats and kittens.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to our shenanigans.
It's good to see you guys.
You guys
I feel
have a
more
great
awake
day.
now. Yeah.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye, guys.